Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today's video is actually super special because it's my 30th video. Thank you all so much for your support. Today I have for you guys a cute college romance story that takes place on a university campus. Our story starts with a girl named Anin who really loves spending her afternoons in the campus library. She's normally a really busy student, but when her professors weren't around, she liked to take some time to sketch or read books. The library was her favorite place because she loved how the afternoon light shone through the tall windows and created these little beams of light on the floor. She liked how the dust particles would float in the light and how she could hear people quietly reading their books. It was during one of these relaxing afternoons that she met Pin. Anin was curled up on the couch and was deep into her art history book when she suddenly felt a shadow appear over her book. Startled, she lifted her head up and saw this really beautiful girl with soft features and dark hair looking down at her. She was curious about Anin and was asking if the seat was taken. Anin quickly realized that she must have been completely engrossed in her book, because she barely acknowledged the girl who was now sitting down. Quickly apologizing, Anin moved over so the girl could settle down. Soon, Anin realized that it was Pin, one of the most popular girls on campus. To be honest, Anin had noticed Pin around campus before. Everyone knew her because she was an incredibly talented musician and was always seen walking around with her guitar. Because of how friendly and warm she looked, Anin had always wanted to get to know her, but she had never worked up the courage. So when she found herself alone with Pin in the library, she was very surprised and also excited as the two settled down. Anin realized that she could remember the last time she had a conversation with someone like this. With the quiet hum of the library as background noise, they started talking about their classes and what they planned to do for the weekend. The two discovered that they had quite a few classes together and that they both loved vintage fashion. As the afternoon wore on, they continued to chat, and Anin found herself opening up to Pin about her dreams of traveling the world and her love for photography. It was refreshing for Anin to have such a nice conversation without the pressure of performing or pretending to be someone else. Pin, too, enjoyed talking to Anin. She was drawn to Anin-esque kindness and intelligence and found herself feeling comfortable sharing her own thoughts and feelings with her. By the time the library closed, they had exchanged numbers and made plans to meet up again soon. Over the next few weeks, Anin and Pin started spending a lot of time together. They would meet up after class to grab coffee or tea and talk for hours about everything and nothing. They also started studying together, which was actually pretty helpful because they could keep each other accountable and motivated. But honestly, they spent most of their study sessions just holding hands and stealing kisses, which drove them both crazy sometimes because they wanted to focus on their studies, but they just couldn't help themselves. Sometimes they would take breaks from their studies to go for walks around campus. These walks usually turned into adventures as they would discover new places and things to do together. They explored hidden gardens, quirky cafes, and cozy bookstores, always finding new ways to make memories together. One day, while exploring a new part of campus, they stumbled upon a music room that Pin had never seen before. Intrigued, she opened the door and stepped inside. It was a small room with a worn-out piano in the corner and a comfy couch against the wall. Wow, I've been to every building on this campus, and I've never seen this room before, Pin said, walking towards the piano and running her fingers over the keys. Me neither, Anin replied, sitting down on the couch. It's amazing that there are still places like this left to discover. They spent the afternoon in the music room, playing music, singing, and just enjoying the peace and quiet. For Anin, it was a perfect afternoon. She loved watching Pin play the piano and sing, and she loved the way the music filled the room and touched her soul. She knew she was lucky to have found such a special place and such a special person to share it with. As the sun started to set, they decided to leave the music room and go back to their dorms. As they walked side by side, Anin could unhelp but feel grateful for the unexpected joy and companionship that Pin had brought into her life. She had never felt this way about anyone before, and she didn't know what to do with these overwhelming emotions. As the weeks went by, Anin's friendship grew deeper and their feelings for each other became more intense. They started spending every free moment together, and their love for each other grew with each passing day. But as their relationship grew, so did their worries. They were both afraid of losing each other, and they were afraid of what would happen if their relationship ended. This fear was especially prevalent during the weekends when the campus was filled with parties and social events. Both Anin and Pin were naturals when it came to socializing, but they always preferred staying in with each other rather than going out with friends. At first, this wasn't a big deal. They had fun at the parties, met new people, and enjoyed dancing the night away. But as time went on, they started feeling more and more drained by the constant need to socialize. They missed their quiet evenings at home, where they could curl up on the couch and watch old movies together. They missed their lazy mornings in bed, where they would cuddle and whisper sweet nothings into each other's ears. They missed their simple life, and they started to resent the parties and social events that were ruining it. One Saturday night, after enduring yet another boring party, they decided enough was enough. They were done with the superficial conversations and fake smiles. They wanted to go home and be themselves. As they walked back to their dorm hand in hand, they talked about how much they missed their old life. "I'm so tired of pretending," Anin whispered, burying her head in Pin's shoulder. "I know," Pin replied, squeezing her hand. "Let's just stay in tomorrow." And that's exactly what they did. They spent the next day in their PJs, eating takeout and watching movies. It was the best day ever. As the night went on, they started reminiscing about all the good times they'd had together. They talked about their first date at the library, their first kiss in the music room, and all the adventures they'd shared. Suddenly, Anin turned to Pin and confessed that she had never felt this way about anyone before. She told Pin how much she loved her and how much she appreciated everything they had built together. Pin's eyes widened in surprise, but she quickly recovered and admitted that she felt the same way about Anin. In that moment, they realized that their love for each other was worth fighting for. They were done with the parties and social events. They were done with the fake friends and superficial relationships. They were ready to focus on what truly mattered, their love for each other. From that day on, Anin and Pin's relationship became stronger than ever. They were committed to making their love last, and they were willing to sacrifice anything to keep it that way. They still had their ups and downs, of course, but they knew that as long as they had each other, they could get through anything. As they sat there watching the sunset together, they knew that they had found something special, something that was worth fighting for. They had found true love in each other. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this cute love story about Anin and Pin. Don't forget to leave a comment before you go. See you guys in the next video. Bye.